This is Taking Stock. Taking Stock with Magda Wierzycka this evening, Chief Executive of Sygnia Asset Management. Now, the author of the first of the Steinhoff books, many Steinhoff books that will come out in the next couple of years, has told me that the corruption units within the SAPS, within the Hawks, are denuded of skills, that there are no chartered accountants, for example, working within the commercial crimes unit of the Hawks, and that's desperately concerning. Does that back up the evidence that you've got? James Brent Stein, who wrote the first Steinhoff book, tells me that this is the case. How do we ever get a prosecution in that case?
Look, I think we need to recognize that NPA and Hawks and SARS need to be rebuilt from the bottom up. So, it starts with appointing the heads, but it will take a number of months for them to recruit the right people and the right skills, and those skills are not there. And again, expect pushback from within. So yes, you might have the right head being appointed, but there are still people within those organizations that will fight back.
So why does any sane chartered accountant, lawyer with a public conscience go into those environments where they can find themselves with the bicycle spoke between the ribs, literally or figuratively, as a result of them going in to try and clean up?
Well, look, KPMG retrenched 400 people, so there's a whole lot of accountants running around without jobs. Yeah. And maybe, paying back to society would be a good incentive for a while. Go back, do some public service. Maybe it's not the salary that you would have earned as a partner, but go and do some good as a bit of a redemption thing so that you can look at yourself in the mirror. That's a good start. But look, the problem we have in South Africa, and that actually touches on a deeper issue, and that is that that we're seeing the record levels of immigration out of South Africa, which are currently at a higher level than before 1994.
Explain that to me. Where's that data come from?
So there are statistics, which come from a variety of sources, but I've just seen a recent survey which showed that, schools, for instance.
Now, the school story is interesting because the waiting lists at schools have reduced to almost nothing. We're talking about private schools, where traditionally can exclude kids for generations.
In the last 12 months, Crawford College has lost 1,500 kids, and to immigration alone. So people are...
And these are high-skilled people with capital. Taxpayers, people with the potential to create opportunities for new South Africans.
Taxpayers, which we so badly need.
So what's wrong with you then that you haven't joined that particular flight? I mean, here you are, somebody with the capacity to move if you choose to. You were born in Poland. You're a global citizen. You have assets.
I've been
what gives you the confidence to... You've been a refugee before, and you've lived in a refugee camp. You wouldn't do that this time.
No, I wouldn't do it. This time I wouldn't do it at all. Because, emigrating to another country might seem attractive on the surface. And yes, you get rid of some of the problems. You don't get the political headlines you get in South Africa. You might not be faced with the same levels of poverty. But whatever country you go to, make no mistake, you will be a second-class citizen. Forever. Whether it is Australia, whether it is Canada, whether it is in New Zealand. Your life would flatline. Your life is made up of a lot more than just the money that you can earn. It's made out of your social connections, your friends, your status, your job, your skills levels, your family. That's what makes up a life. It's a puzzle. And the moment you emigrate, you give it all up. Your life literally flatlines.
Yet there are so many people who have lost confidence that they move for their kids, or they move for the hope that things will get better. It's happened in South Africa at Sharpeville, 1976, Rubicon speech in 1985, the assassination of Chris Hani, the chaos that was in South Africa between 1990, the multiple recessions all the way to 94, 95. Eskom crisis precipitated another move, the Zuma years precipitated another move, and we're going through another crisis of confidence. What's the solution to restore confidence, to say to South Africans, sit down, buck up, make a commitment and stick it out?
Well, I think it's exactly that. It's basically saying, guys, grass is not greener on the other side. If I think of 1994, so I lived through a generation where, I studied actuarial science, so we had a highly transportable degree, which was actually a British degree, and a lot of my peers, university friends, emigrated to Australia. And I periodically visit Australia, not my favorite place. Okay, well, there goes immigration to Australia then. Probably a visa as well. I've got the same friends in Australia. And you know what? They have like monthly lunch clubs where they all whinge about how their lives have gone nowhere and how their careers have gone nowhere. But they did it for the kids. So grass is not green. Understand, grass is not greener on the other side. Look at the beauty of South Africa. You actually don't get this anywhere. I've traveled the world. I mean, I've been to Antarctica and the Arctic. You don't get this beauty. You don't get, you know, this standard of living that you have in South Africa.
Yet, South Africa's got this great dichotomy. We've got a very thin upper crust.
That's exactly
and
right.
we've got so many people who need so much.
Exactly. But that's the crust that's emigrating. So that's the crust you're trying to appeal to and say, stay here, create jobs for the others, contribute back to society. Because you know what? Your sense of self-worth is not just related to how much money you make. It's also what you do with your life. So, you know, in this country, there is so much need to build opportunities, need to employ people, need to pass on skills, need to educate, that, you know, it's a unique opportunity to give something back if you have more than the other person, and there are so many people that have less than you. So you actually are in a unique position to make a difference, which you won't be in the UK or, you know, Canada or New Zealand. Canada and New Zealand are the ones that are actually taking South Africans right now. You will be in no position to make any significant difference in those countries. You will be just a number. You know, you will live a life, an average life. In South Africa, you've got an opportunity to lead an extraordinary life.
And it's not just a wealthy, extraordinary life.
No.
It can be extraordinary beyond
Absolutely.
wealth.
And you know, this skills shortage in South Africa creates so many opportunities for an average South African to start a business, to employ 5 people, to make a difference, to actually make money. You know, the more people leave, the more opportunities, you know, kind of perversely open up. So, you know, I wouldn't leave. You know, I've got no intention. Look, you know, I was harassed enough politically last year, bodyguards, whatever, and that didn't make me leave. So certainly now I'm going nowhere.
Magda Wierzycka, thank you very much indeed. Magda Wierzycka, Chief Executive of Sygnia, asset management company based in Cape Town. That brings an end to this edition of Taking Stock. Thank you very much for watching it. You can keep tabs, of course, on the show, following the @ENCA tagline on Twitter. Thanks for watching. Good night. Bye-bye.